You're on video.
What?
You're on video. What do you want to say?
Hello, Seal. Hope you're doing okay. Diane and Allison and Bill are all here, and they're leaving, and I understand they're coming up to see you. So get braced, get ready for them, and I hope you're feeling good today. Have a good day, and we'll see you some of these days. Well, goodbye. 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah, I don't know about Robin Hood, whether they liked it or not, but Chris and Brad both wanted to see a different movie and couldn't play but one at a time, so I told them we'd flip a coin and see who won. So they agreed to that. We flipped a coin while Chris won and Brad cried. When y'all were little, I think Diane was about 6, 7 years old, and Seal, what's Seal's?
Cindy? Gordon?
Fred?
Anyway, the Seals boy was
Oh, Seals, Jack Seals, Herschel Seals.
Herschel, yeah. And they found a big black snake out here and a hole in the ground, and it had a little baby rabbit eating it up, and we got the rabbit away from it and tried to save it, but it was too far gone, and you wanted your mama to sew it back together, and she finally agreed to reluctantly, but it didn't make it. It died. But the big black snake, he did all right. When I was 5 years old, we had a birthday. Well, Bill would get me down and spank me 1 year for every birthday, every year. So, and Mother made me a birthday cake, and it had 5 candles on it, and we took it out there by the pecan tree and took a picture with the old box camera. And I've still got that picture. I put it on my computer once, and so it's on the computer now. And I'm looking at that cake. So proud about cake. But I was 5 years old, and that's a long time ago.
You're 92 now.
You're what?
I said you're 92 now.
Yeah, 92. So that's the story. Bill and I were boys while Dad grew Egyptian wheat. It was tall and had heads that had powder on them that stung you like broom corn, and it was our job to harvest it. So we didn't like the idea, so we made us a cart out of some old boards and some planter wheels, and hooked old Judy up to it, and had sideboards on the cart so we could stand up in there and go down the row and cut the heads off and put them in the cart. And oh, it just worked great. We were so proud of our invention. And finally, old Judy stepped in a hole about 6 inches deep, and she couldn't get her feet out. She had to jump and around before she could get them out, and finally did. And we went on and come to an opening in the field, and there's Mr. Thomas's old horse in there eating our feed. And Judy saw him, and she got scared, and she started running, and she ran fast she could go, and the old cart would ride on one wheel a while, and then on the other wheel a while, and Bill and I both thought we was coming to the end of our life, but she got to the end of the row and turned and went down to the house through the orange orchard, and she made another sharp turn, and the cart turned over and come all to pieces. And Bill and I hit the soft dirt that just plowed it and didn't get a scratch on us. And old Judy run down to the barn, and she's just a-shaking and sweating. She's scared to death.
How old were you?
I guess I was about 12, something like that.
And old Judy was a donkey, right?
She's a mule.
A mule, okay.
You know anything about mules?
We had an old road grader. Our roads didn't have any pavement, and they were muddy, and had big ruts in them when it rained, and they had a horse grader, had views, but I think it's 4 views pulled it, and when they'd come by, well, we'd run, jump on the back of the grader, and we'd ride it down to the schoolhouse, and we'd jump off and come back. And we really got a thrill out of riding on that old grader.
That sounds like fun.
And of course, you could do that today, you know,
Yeah.
with a lot, but we got a big kick out of that. We just let big kids.
How far away was the schoolhouse?
It was about a quarter mile.
A quarter mile.
Mm.
Not too far.
No, and we used to, your daddy used to cut our hair. And they had some old hand clippers, you know, with no electric.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have electricity. And if you didn't work them fast enough, they'd pull the hair. And we go, ow! And Dad said, oh, we hit a stump.
Tell them about when you had to take a bath, Daddy. How y'all took baths.
Well, we had a big old wash tub. We washed our clothes in those big old tubs. And we'd get that big old wash tub and we'd heat some water in the kettle on the stove. And we'd put some water, cold water in, and we'd put some hot water in and get it warm. And we'd jump in there and take a bath.
But y'all all used the same water, didn't you?
And I can't remember.
Well, I remember you telling me y'all used the same towel. You had 2 towels.
Yeah, one for the top and one for the bottom. And yeah, I think we used the same towels. And Mother would wash our backs. And the lady here gave me a bath the other day, and she's in a hurry. She didn't seem to. She didn't bathe me very good. And I like for her to wash between the toes. And she wouldn't do that. And then she didn't dry me off very good. Gonna put my clothes on while I'm still wet. I said, hey, wait a minute, you're still wet. And I had to get after it and dry me off a little better. But it was kind of a quickie bath. It wasn't very good.
Tell about the old cellar where you would sleep.
Yeah, we had a cellar down there where Bill and I slept down there, and Grandma slept with us some too. And she'd sing a little song, the bee is in the air, or something about that. And in the morning when it's time to get up, the birds, bees on the wing, or I forget how it went, but anyway. And anyway, when Bill and I had a bed, I think we had some sawhorses and boards and put a mattress on it. And that was our bed. And Dad used to come down there at night. He couldn't sleep while he'd build a fire in the fireplace. And he'd read his radio book, Radio Craft it was, and had a kerosene lamp there to read by. And one night I woke up and I asked him what time it was or something. And he jumped up and ran behind the door. I only had one door. It was on the way out. And I was scared to death. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, after a while I decided to jump and run for it. So I got up and run out that door with him behind it and went to the house, and I told him the man at a booger in there in the cellar, and so Dad went down there and checked it out. And what did about it?
Well, of course he left. When
What?
you left. He left when you left.
And I left Bill in there.
I left Bill in there.
He was asleep.
He didn't know what was happening. Was the cellar under the house?
It was under the ground.
It was under the ground,
Mm-hmm.
but underneath the house?
No.
Just like separate?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, I scared to death that booger.
That would have scared me too.
I don't know how in the world it all happened, but I guess it's my imagination, but it seems so real.
Yeah.
How old were you?
Oh, gee, I don't know. I guess I was about 7 or 8, I don't know. And we had an old barn full of rats. And they rattled around making noise. And I was scared to death to go down there at night, but I'd make myself go if I had to go. And we had a little .22 rifle with rat shot. We'd go down there with a flashlight. And the rats would run around the wall. They had a little board around the top ceiling there where they could run, and we'd shoot them. And that was big sport to kill those rats. We had a little dog, he'd get the rats when they fell down, take them out in the driveway there and lay them down. He'd lay them down side by side.
Did he eat him?
Huh?
Did the dog eat him?
No,
No. Probably didn't taste good.
no, he didn't eat them, but he'd lay them down side by side. And they had no ridge roll. You know what a ridge roll is?
Mm-mm.
Well, that's, the roof goes together and then they put a cap on the top there and it keep the rain from coming in where the iron meets. And the rats would get in there and they'd run in there and we could see them from the bottom. And we'd shoot them and they'd rattle and kicking, running around on that. And then they'd smell real bad for a few days.
Yeah, because they were rotting. That's gross.
And then we had a pile of cottonseed back in the corner, and the old cat had kittens.
Ah.
And the cottonseed, we'd go there and play with the kittens.
That's fun.
They weren't wild like the cats we have, some of the cats we have now.
They were nice.
Yeah, and we had an old car, and had a workshop there, and Grandma had an old Saxon car. She bought it from some people that were going to California. The world was coming to an end at a certain date.
Mm-hmm.
And this religious group all believed that, and they were selling their stuff off so they could get some money to go to California. We'd be there when Christ came. He was coming up on the east side of the country, they thought. And so they're all going to be there to meet Christ when he came on that date. So they sold the old Saxon to Grandma cheap. And so she couldn't drive it, so Dad had to drive it. And she would want to go to town. She'd stop Dad from his work and have her drive her to town.
Well, this was your mother's mother?
What?
This was your mother's mother?
Yeah.